Formosa Files is sponsored by the Frank Chen Cultural Foundation.
After the last major defeats in the Chinese Civil War, Chiang Kai-shek finally retreated to Taiwan in December 1949. The KMT leader made his escape along with nationalist soldiers, KMT officials, and masses of ordinary Chinese people fleeing the victorious Chinese communists. Estimates for the total number vary, but at least 1 million Chinese people, including soldiers and their families, arrived in Taiwan between 1945 and 1950. All these refugees needed shelter. Fortunately, the Japanese military had already built many barracks, dorms, and storehouses all over Formosa, as this island was an important Japanese stronghold during the Second World War. Higher-ranked nationalist officers and their families were given cozy Japanese-style military houses. However, most new arrivals were simply squeezed into buildings such as these. As many as 10 families would live in one storehouse, personal space divided only by thin boards or even pieces of cloth. The ROC government soon began the construction of a vast number of very basic homes to house these nationalist soldiers and their families. Later, between 1957 and 1967, around 38,000 such homes for veterans were built with money donated by First Lady Song Mei-lin and her National Women's League of the ROC. The settlements formed by these simple domiciles are generally called military dependence villages. According to the Ministry of Defense, there were once 886 such villages registered in Taiwan. The first site to be designated as a military dependence village was the Army's Huangpu New Village, located in what's now Fengshan District, Kaohsiung City. The largest cluster of naval military dependence villages, over 22, were also in Kaohsiung, at sites not far from the Navy base at Zuoying. In addition, there are several villages where the families of Air Force personnel lived in Gangshan District. This means Kaohsiung provides a rare example of having military dependence villages linked to all three main military branches. From 1981 to 1985, Kaohsiung City and the ROC Navy built a large housing community in Zuoying. The Guomao community was constructed to rehouse those in nearby military dependence villages, which were becoming ever more dilapidated. This mega housing complex consists of 13 buildings, with 2 semicircular tower-shaped buildings in the center. It is said that as the military was involved in the construction, some of these structures are as strong as bunkers. Residents claim that even today, it requires great effort to drill a hole in a wall. Exactly why the buildings at the center were designed in this round tower manner is an unsettled question. Some say it offered better lighting. Others think it was to prevent residents from observing the military port. The number 1 building, which directly faces the military port, was occupied by officers with a rank of colonel or above. By 1995, most of the military dependence villages in big cities had been demolished. But in Kaohsiung, several officer-level villages were preserved, renovated, and revitalized. Although the original villagers have long since moved away, a new generation of Kaohsiung residents are reinventing the old military dependence villages. Some of the houses have been reborn as hostels or spaces for artists. But as late as 2023, people still live in some of the original old settlements that have, for one reason or another, survived the modernization of post-World War II Taiwan.